mediator criticism. This time I'm going to be happy now. I'm going to read Cgtn. Yeah! Cgtn, see the difference, everything is made in China. Trade war dossier. Trade war dossier. Hope for the world. China. This is a big news. I mean a huge news. The size, big size news. China, April 8, 2025. Chinese premier calls on China, EU to maintain free open trade. April 8, 2025. Cgtn. Chinese Premier Li Qiang on Tuesday held a phone conversation with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, urging the two sides to maintain free and open trade, noting both China and the EU are advocates of economic globalization and trade liberalization, and staunch defenders and supporters of the WTO. Premier Li, WTO on planet Earth, on this very planet. Premier Li said the two sides should strengthen communication and coordination, expand mutual openness, safeguard free and open trade and investment, maintain the stability and smooth flow of the global industrial and supply chains, injecting more stability and certainty into both sides in the world economy. The Chinese premier pointed out that recently the US, under various pretexts, has announced the indiscriminate imposition of tariffs on all trade partners, including China and the EU, a typical act of unilateralism, protectionism, and economic bullying. Economic bullying. It's not the first time I read this. I have read this from Al Jazeera too. They are talking about economic bullying. Li said that China has taken resolute measures not only to safeguard its own sovereignty, security, and development interests, but also to defend the rules of international trade and justice. As this year marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and the EU, Li said China is willing to enhance political mutual trust with the European side, expand practical cooperation, insist on resolving their respective concerns through dialogue and consultation, and promote the continuous development of China-EU relations. He called for promoting the holding of a new round of China-EU high-level dialogue in the strategic, economic, and trade, green, and digital sectors as soon as possible. Li also voiced China's confidence in maintaining the sustained and healthy development of its economy, saying China's macro policies this year have fully taken into account various uncertainties, and the country also has sufficient reserve policy tools which are fully capable of heading against unfavorable external influences. China will continue to unswervingly expand its opening up, strengthen cooperation with the rest of the world, and share development opportunities, he added. Von der Leyen said that the EU has always attached greater importance to its relations with China. It is crucial for Europe and China to maintain continuity and stability amid current situation, she said. The EU is looking forward to holding a new round of meetings between European and Chinese leaders at an appropriate time, and to jointly celebrating the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between EU and China. Von der Leyen added. She warned that the imposition of additional U.S. tariffs has seriously impacted international trade, sparking serious repercussions on Europe, China, and vulnerable countries. Von der Leyen called on Europe and China to be committed to safeguarding a fair and free multilateral trading system centered on the WTO and to maintaining the healthy and stable development of global economic and trade relations, which is the common interest of both sides and the world. Politics, April 8, 2025. Cgtn poll. Global respondents urge nations to say no to U.S. bullying. Forklift moves spinning containers at the Port Miami in Miami. Seek justice, not hegemony. The United States' imposition of tariffs has triggered strong condemnation and resolute countermeasures from many countries, and China's release of a position paper posing the U.S. abuse of tariffs has gained a supportive response for the international community. A new poll of social media users around the world conducted by Cgtn shows that the respondents are calling on countries to join hands and take action to resist, quote unquote, American-style bullying, safeguarding their legitimate rights and the current international economic and trade order. The United States, under the guise of pursuing, quote unquote, equality and, quote unquote, fairness, engages in a zero-sum game, placing its own interests above the common good for the international community. China firmly opposes this and points out that development is a universal right of all countries, not a monopoly of a few. In this regard, 86.9% of respondents believe that the countermeasures taken by countries against the U.S. tariffs bullying actions are legitimate actions to defend their own legal interests. Meanwhile, 89.2% of respondents call for more countries to adopt a more active and proactive stance and actions on trade issues with the U.S., opposing America's unilateral bullying actions on multilateral platforms such as the World Trade Organization. It's been a nice day for news. News from U.S. Israel discuss Gaza's friends, Egypt, Jordan push for ceasefire. News about South Korea politics. and there's the China hosts world's first half marathon of robots. Well, everybody off. So I guess I'm going to read. I'm still going to read the left of this world trade war, world, I don't remember, trade war. I'm going to make a poll here with the shore workers. Hey, have you noticed any difference? No. Everybody's still buying China goods. Hey, where's this tractor come from? Look, a new tractor. Is this a new one? It's not new. It's don't forget, just grapes and wine.